Cincinnati Bengals, let's talk about them. Let's talk about them.
I like the chances, man.
Mixon gets it. Second effort is into the end zone.
Boom. Hit by Pratt.
Let's go! And the ball is caught by T. Higgins. He's the speedster. He's got daylight.
Intercepted at the goal line.
Y'all know I'm the best. Running the flush, throws it downfield. The ball's caught by Lloyd. Keeping his footing inside the 30.
Tanner Hudson into the end zone.
Three's a streak, and it doesn't seem like even the chilly temperatures can cool off this red-hot Bengals team. Welcome in to Bengals Weekly. I'm Marissa Contapelli. Playoff hopes are on the line in the Steel City, as Cincinnati has won 3 in a row, while Pittsburgh has dropped their last 3. So as we get you set for kickoff between the Bengals and the Steelers, we check in with the receiver who made the incredible game-tying touchdown catch. That's right, we had T. Higgins mic'd up against the Vikings. Bengals legend Boomer Esiason joins the show to preview this massive AFC North showdown in Pittsburgh. And on Countdown, I'll tell you how much of a game changer Mike Hilton has been for the Bengals as of late. But first, the Bengals rallied from a 14-point deficit as Jake Browning led an incredible second-half comeback, and Lou Anarumo's defense came up clutch with big play after big play. Let's relive the Bengals' thrilling overtime win over the Vikings.
With 4 games left in the regular season, that makes today's home game against the Minnesota Vikings critical.
Saturday football, man, in the jungle. Where else would you rather be? Sit back and enjoy the show. Bengals win on the way.
2nd down and 6. Browning throwing it deep for Jamar Chase. He's got it!
A gain of 25.
The Bengals will have to settle for a field goal attempt, and the Bengals score on their opening possession to take a 3-0 lead.
Little play action. Mullins is going to hit Chandler wide open. He's got some space and gets it inside the 5 before he is pushed out by Jermaine Pratt. Hand off to Chandler's, and he is in.
And the Vikings have pulled ahead.
Hey, that's what kind of game it's going to be. That's what kind of game it's going to be.
The Bengals go with their dime defense.
Mullins throws it across the middle, and the ball is picked off by Hilton. Mike Hilton.
Unbelievable what a play by Mike Hilton.
Y'all know I'm the best.
3rd down and 7. Mullins sacked. The ball comes out, and the Bengals recover.
This is the 2nd straight week B.J. Hill has an interception.
Hey, another pick is crazy. Another pick is crazy.
3rd and 9. Mullins just gets the snap away. Pressured again. Throws it off his back foot. Caught. It's caught by Addison. He's going to go all the way in for a touchdown. So now up to Jake Browning to respond. Browning looking left. Throws to Hudson. Gets it inside Vikings territory.
43 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Bengals need a touchdown. Browning back to throw. Passes for Chase. Caught at the 16-yard line. The Bengals have a 1st down in the red zone.
Browning looks, throws to the end zone. Higgins, touchdown!
And the Bengals are very much alive with 14:56 to go.
Now return this up slow. Let's go.
3rd and 13. Hawkinson hammered at the 29-yard line by Logan Wilson as the Bengals D does its job.
It is 4th down inside the 1. They hand it to Mixon.
Gets popped. Second effort is into the end zone for a touchdown.
48 seconds left in regulation.
Browning looking. Pressured, throws it deep, and the ball is caught by T. Higgins at the 1-yard line. And it's actually called a touchdown.
And we are headed to overtime, tied up at 24. Can the Bengals stop Minnesota on 4th down and about 2 inches?
And Mullins does not get there.
An incredible job by the defense.
Cincinnati back in business. Next score wins.
Browning throwing downfield. It is caught. Tyler Boyd still on his feet. He's at the 20. He will be brought down inside the 15, well within the field goal range of Evan McPherson.
The snap's good, the hold is good, and the Bengals have come back to beat the Vikings in overtime.
3 straight wins engineered by Jake Browning, and the Bengals win it today 27-24.
Coming up next, we hand the mic over to the guy who was clutch last Saturday. You won't want to miss T. Higgins mic'd up against the Vikings. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by AltaFiber, proud to be the official internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. T. Higgins' improbable touchdown to tie the game with 39 seconds will surely go down as one of the plays of the year for the Bengals. And lucky for all of us, we had T on the mic for this one. Let's now head down to field level and listen in.
Boy, hey, that one, crazy. You crazy for that one.
Let's do it.
Time is up.
It is time for the pigskin to fly here in the jungle.
Thanks for holding up on that.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
blocking the back.
yeah.
I saw you.
I was like, oh, let me not even touch him.
Browning on second has Chase wide open, and he makes the one-handed grab.
Let's go.
And he gets dropped by B.J. Hill. Did he lose the ball on top of it? The refs say yes.
Higgins and Chase go out to the left. Browning back to throw. His pass for Higgins in the end zone. Touchdown!
Boy,
Let's go!
Nice job. There we go.
Good job, T!
Shoving Browning toward the end zone. The officials come charging in.
Oh! Hey, you saw him cross. You know you saw him cross.
No, he wasn't.
They hand it to Mixon. He gets hit. Tries to get in. And does!
Boy.
Bengals are 46 yards away from a possible tying touchdown. Browning scrambling right, in trouble, throws it off his back foot toward the end zone. T. Higgins wins a jump ball. Touchdown! He twirled it behind his back where he couldn't see and held it over the pylon for the score.
That was nice. That was nice. I ain't gonna lie. That was touchdown, bro.
Boy, hey, that one, crazy. You crazy for that one. Hey, you crazy for that one.
And the Bengals beat the Minnesota Vikings in overtime.
It's hard to not get fired up for rivalry week. That includes Bengals legend Boomer Esiason, who played Pittsburgh 16 times during his Bengals career. So we knew that we had to check in with the legendary signal caller to get his take on Saturday's game. Boomer now joins Dan Horde.
Football fans all over the country have been mesmerized by the Jake Show over the past 4 weeks, and I'm sure that includes Bengals Ring of Honor quarterback Boomer Esiason. Boomer, in his 4 starts, Jake Browning is completing 76% of his passes. He's averaging 295 passing yards a game. His passer rating is 109 plus. Are you, in fact, amazed by what he's done?
Man, look how easy this is, Dan. It's unbelievable. Anybody could do it. Of course, I'm as amazed as anybody else is, and I don't think he's that amazed. I think He seems to be a pretty competent guy, and he also seems to be a pretty humble guy, unless he's yelling into the camera, "This is what you get for cutting me." But then again, I can totally understand that emotion. That's exactly what you want out of your quarterback.
I'm glad you referenced his tossing of his helmet and screaming at the camera after beating his former team, because you were famously fiery in your playing days. Was that moment revealing to you in any way?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a chip on his shoulder, and it's been there probably for about 3.5, 4 years. And this was a moment for him to let it go. I mean, any of us who have been through the car wash, if you will, can all appreciate that emotion. And I think that's exactly what is needed in the NFL. So I love the emotion. I mean, that's what really, truly is great. It's emotion, but it's not reckless. It's not over the top. It's not across the line. It's just a competitive outburst that every quarterback should, have within them. And I'm glad I saw that out of Jake.
Last thing, the Bengals have climbed to the number 6 playoff seed with 3 games to go at Pittsburgh, at Kansas City, home against the Cleveland Browns. What do you think of their chances of getting in?
I mean, I don't know what to think, honestly. I mean, when Jake Browning took over, who would have thought that they would be where they are right now? This is going to be a tough run for the Bengals. If they get this one this week, they need one of the next 2, I think, to get in. Let's put it that way. So that last home game could be really, really interesting against the Browns. That would be something.
Boomer, you are the best. Can't thank you enough for your time. Happy holidays to you and your kids and your grandkids, and look forward to talking to you again sometime soon.
Ted Karras is the Bengals nominee for Walter Payton Man of the Year. And coming up next, we'll show you how he is making a difference for the village of Merici. Ted Karras is the Bengals Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the incredible work he has done for the village of Merici, a nonprofit living community that provides adults with disabilities, services, and independent housing opportunities. Karras' Cincy Hat project has helped raise over $325,000, as it truly takes a village.
You only get a little bit of time to really be in this league and have these types of opportunities, so I'm very grateful. I'm going to use it as much as I can.
It's kind of everybody's responsibility to see if you can't help out for those less fortunate. And I think that's what's special, is not only what you do on the field, but what you do off the field as well in the community.
I feel very blessed to be in the situation that I'm in this country and in my stage in life. It is important to give back and help out, where it's needed. This is a very happy place, rooted in service to the benefit of adults with developmental disabilities.
I think a big part of his NFL journey has just been him being the underdog. I think he's always identified with people who are kind of in that underdog position that he can help out.
There you go. Thank you. The Village of Merici is founded by people that I've known for a long time. A lot of people doing a lot of effort to do a lot of good.
The mission of the Village of Merici is to provide unique support services for adults with intellectual disabilities so that they can live in the community and having the life they want to lead, their choice.
Come on in.
Hello, Steve. Well, first off, Steve, you keep a very tidy household, sir.
Oh, it's not that tidy.
I think Ted and Steve especially, and Ted and all the residents, is such a relationship of love and attention.
There we go. Wow. My neighbors down in Florida have a golf supply business. Talking one evening, she shows me this logo and made up these hats.
Everyone likes a piece of gear, and they ended up being some pretty nice hats. Everyone wanted one, so the organization that I do most of my charity work with is called the Village Merici, and now we want to sell them for them.
To see him doing what he's done with the Cincy hats and the amount of money that he's raised, sometimes I think he's everywhere when he has a free minute, selling those hats.
The incredible amount of time and energy and spirit that Ted's put into this has been amazing. I think he saw that he was in a really unique position. I'm just so honored that he has used his platform for something good.
You can never take for being in the NFL for granted. To be able to harness some of that attention to something good, I would always regret if I didn't.
Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey guys, good to see you.
It's truly probably the biggest privilege I've ever had in my life to let Ted know that he is officially the 2023 Cincinnati Bengals Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys.
I think there has been just a renewed sense of pride in this entire community, and a lot of that comes from Ted and the exposure that they've brought to this mission.
It was just a natural thing for Ted to do, to start this project and to get involved at the Village.
He's just a genuine, caring, and supportive individual.
Mr. Steve, thank you so much, brother. Throughout my whole career, my whole life now, I'm gonna wanna help the Village of Merici. So cool to see it growing and helping to affect more people.
You can watch the full feature on Ted Karras by visiting the Bengals YouTube channel. When we return, it's time for Contepelli's Countdown, where I'll tell you what impressive streak Zach Taylor's crew looks to continue this Saturday. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Betfred, the official sports betting partner of the Cincinnati Bengals, and your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Mike Hilton's diving interception last Saturday was just one of many highlights by the Bengals defense, as Hilton scooped up his second pick of the season, bringing the D's INT total to 15 on the year. Hilton has been playing some of his best ball since Week 6, as the corner is heating up while the weather is cooling down. Since Week 6, Hilton is PFF's third highest graded corner and is coming off his highest PFF grade as a Bengal after posting a 92.8 against Minnesota. In coverage against the Vikings, Hilton was shut down, allowing just 3 receptions for 15 total yards, along with grabbing that massive interception at the goal line, as he held Nick Mullins to just a 25 passer rating when targeting the corner. Hilton's pick in the second quarter was the first of 2 that the Bengals snagged against Minnesota. When BJ Hill intercepted Mullins, it was the 9th time this season the Bengals defense forced a turnover inside their own 25-yard line. That's the most in the league. Hill also became the second defensive lineman since 2000 to record an interception in back-to-back games within the same season. Now, as for the offensive line, Jonah Williams has allowed the 4th lowest QB pressure rate this season among starting right tackles, with a 5.7%. Ted Karras has also been excellent in pass protection this season. The center hasn't given up a sack since Week 10. That's over 200 pass blocking snaps that have been taken in that time frame. T. Higgins will be playing in Pittsburgh for the 3rd time in his career, and in each of his first 2 trips to the Steel City, all Higgins has done is post 263 receiving yards. In fact, Higgins has the most career receiving yards against the Steelers than any other opponent, as he has topped 100 yards in a single game in 3 of his 5 outings against his rival. In his career, Higgins has posted his best yardage in the month of December, topping 1,000 career receiving yards. And since 2020, his 9 receiving touchdowns in December is second most in the league in that span. The Bengals have also played their best ball in the final month of the year. Cincinnati has won its last 9 games in December, dating back to Week 15 of 2021. It's the longest active streak in the NFL and longest in team history. During this run, the Bengals have averaged over 28 points per game, while holding opponents to an average of less than 20 points per outing. Contepelli's Countdown is presented by Betfred. And don't forget to download the Betfred app for your chance to win Bengals sweet tickets and to take advantage of exclusive offers. The Bengals and Betfred remind you to gamble responsibly. It's now time for this week's Kettering Health Fantasy Report. T. Higgins led the way for the Bengals, posting over 22 fantasy points after hauling in 4 catches for 61 yards to go with his 2 touchdowns against the Vikings. Higgins' Week 15 outing was his best fantasy number since Week 2 and landed him in the top 10 among fantasy receivers for the week. Jake Browning threw for his second highest passing yardage of the season, topping 320 yards. That yardage paired with his 2 touchdowns to Higgins brought his fantasy total to almost 19 points for Week 15, making him a top 10 fantasy QB for a 3rd straight week. As for Pittsburgh, Jaylen Warren leads the Steelers in fantasy scoring, but is averaging less than 12 points per outing. On the season, Warren has tallied 952 scrimmage yards with 3 touchdowns. But the last time out against the Bengals, Warren mustered just 7 fantasy points on 49 yards rushing and 13 receiving yards. Thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff between the Bengals and the Steelers is coming up. For Dan Horde and our entire crew, I'm Marissa Contapelli. Have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by AltaFiber, proud to be the official internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.